Hello, welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to be talking about my dog Bumble. He's a Springer Spaniel, and his fears and anxieties and how we go about trying to help him with them and conquer them and let him live a healthy, happy life. Come with us on this journey. So Bumble's personality is a happy-go-lucky boy, very intelligent, loves to be working and finding, sniffing, carrying, all those sort of things, and incredibly loving and loyal as well. But through that intelligence and through those hyper excited moments, because if you own a Spaniel you know how excited they can be, this is where some fears and anxieties have grown. So I wanted to tell you a little story about Bumble. Bumble's such a happy-go-lucky dog when he's with us. He loves the people who he's with, he loves his family, he loves most other dogs. But there's a couple, and he does everything I ask of him. He's just the most precious, brilliant boy. But there's a couple of things that I'm trying to work with him on, and it's taken, it's been with me a few years now, and he struggles really badly with stress and anxiety in certain situations. And I just wanted to talk to you about that, really, about how we cope with it, how we deal with it if we are in those situations, and helping other people to understand it as well. So the issue starts really with when you've got a dog like Bumble who's a Spaniel, so they're always beautifully attractive to people. They've got their long flowing hair on their ears, they've got their little tufty bit on top of their head, their tails are always wagging, as you can see, with the gun dog breeds. Even Louis is wagging there as well. He's an Irish setter. But with Bumble, it gives off this persona of being super happy, which he is, 100% well, 90% of the time he's a super happy boy. But he does struggle with stress and anxiety in certain situations. Now, being his owner, I can read those situations through his eyes. He generally shows me in his eye expression or how his eyes dilate. I can watch that and see how he's going to react to someone or something. Now, the reason I've prompted to make this video about Bumble, and to help you really, if you've got a dog that suffers with stress and anxiety, or anything that makes them nervous around other dogs or other people, this might help you as well, so I hope so. And we're all working on it. It's all a work in progress, isn't it? Some dogs don't suffer with it at all. Bixie has she's my other little Springer, has no issues like that at all. But Bumble, just, like us, we're all different, aren't we? So we've all got different traits, we've all got different personalities, and it's the same in the dog world as well. They're not all generic, one breed fits all sort of thing, or one personality fits all. They are individual personalities. The fact that they've got their own nose print, just like we've got our own fingerprint, I know that God made them individual, so they have all got these personalities that we get to know and love and come alongside us. Now, Bumble's anxieties and stress levels go up around strangers. He's pretty good around any other dogs that come into the group. He's been with me a long time now, and he's used to walking with many different dogs and meeting other dogs, and he generally doesn't get too stressed out. If they put themselves on him a bit too much, he doesn't like that. But overall, he can handle situations with dogs. It's more people, so there's no reason for it. The family who had him before love him to bits, still see him, and no issues there. And no issues in my family as well. My family all adore him, and it's just purely in his personality. So how do we deal with that? So I was out last night with Bumble, and I was outside my wife's pub. She runs a pub, and I was waiting to get some keys off of her because I was going to watch the football match. And I had Bumble and Bixie with me with my sister as well, and Bumble was okay. He was quite excited about going into my son's flat where we were going to watch the game, but we had to wait outside the pub while I could try and get hold of the keys. Now, in that time, there was a couple of lads standing outside the pub, lovely lads, and they really wanted to say hello to the dogs because, again, like I said earlier, they're super cute to look at. They're quite small size, and people just get just drawn to them. They just want to make a fuss of dogs, don't they? And they don't think about the dog's personality. They think about, oh, all dogs like me, all dogs will be fine around me. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. So people try and put themselves on the dog, and Bixie's fine. Bixie loves it. She'll go over and have as many cuddles and fusses as possible. But Bumble is a different scenario altogether. First of all, he'll do like a high-pitched bark, which indicates to me that he's already anxious about the situation. They're making eye contact with him, they're putting their hand out towards him, all the things that can, for a dog that's got anxiety issues, just triggers them. I mean, even for us, if a human being came up to you and put their hand in your face and then stared at you and says, oh, you're lovely, you wouldn't handle it very well, would you? You just wouldn't. You'd hate it. Someone putting their hand on your head or in your face, it just wouldn't happen. But people think they can do it with dogs. Now, I can totally understand it, and it's yeah, I do get it, and we've all probably been guilty of it, you know. But I've always said the scenario of no touch, no talk, no eye contact with the dog. Now, I learned that from Cesar Millan many years ago, and I've stuck with it because at the end of the day, it's the best way to be. With a dog, when you look a dog in the eyes, if you don't know it, you're actually making a confrontational issue, because dogs that stare at each other can end up being in a fight with each other and things like that. So to actually stand and stare at a dog and think that you're bonding with it, it just doesn't work that way. The best thing to do is what I said. So you don't touch them, so you just stand there, talk to the owner and say, oh, they're lovely, and then you'll get an explanation from the owner about whether you can approach them or not. And you don't look at the dogs, you don't make any contact with the dog at all. You can have a little glance at it, obviously, because we all want to see dogs, don't we? If you love dogs. And then obviously, so that's no talk, no touch, so you're not putting your hand out in front of their face. I mean, put your hand out where their mouth is not always the best idea anyway, is it? You never know with an animal what it's going to do. So you don't do any sort of touch, you don't do any sort of talk, and you don't look at them. So, I mean, that sounds really boring, doesn't it? But a dog will then relax around you. If you go into someone's house and you go in all screaming like, wee, hello, woo-hoo, and all that sort of thing, you're going to end up with a hyped up dog, really hyped up dog that doesn't know how to calm down, and then it can ramp itself up, and then it will eventually do that to someone who doesn't like dogs, and there'll be loads of issues. So the best thing to do is to do the no touch, no talk, no eye contact, and then let the dog relax. Once the dog's relaxed, I was just talking to a man a minute ago with his Cocker Spaniel, and Bumble didn't bark at him, didn't do anything, because the man was a dog person. He knew, and he didn't make any interaction with Bumble until Bumble was really calm, and then he offered him a treat, and Bumble went over to him and took it, no issues whatsoever. So it just shows you that anxiety in dogs can be controlled in a much different way to anxiety in people. Yeah, I'll keep going. Now, the first thing I would do is look after your dog's surroundings and environment. Now, us as owners, it's our responsibility to make our dogs feel as comfortable and relaxed as possible. And if you own a rescue dog who has maybe come through an abusive background, or a dog with different stresses and anxieties, they're all different, I have to say that. So Bumbles, I'm speaking of as a pure excitement which builds to anxiety and stress. So it starts off with excitement. So for example, with him, when we're in the car He'll be absolutely fine, laying down, all chilled out for 99% of the time. But when I pull up at someone's house to pick another dog up, he will then start barking uncontrollably because he's getting stressed about what's coming. So his intelligence sees ahead and he just thinks, oh no, another dog's getting in, I'm going to have to interact with someone else. And he really doesn't like it, he can't handle it. Which makes it quite problematic when you're a dog walker and your own dog doesn't particularly like dogs getting in your car. But once they're in, they say hello and it all settles down because that excitement drops down and it all goes back to normal, so it resets. So dogs aren't really his issue. It comes to where there's people. Now I'm going to tell you a story about what happened last night, which has made me make this video really. Good boy. Good boy. So these lads were trying to make a fuss of him and he was getting more and more anxious and more barky, and I said to him it's better just to not interact with him at all, just make a fuss of Bixie. There's Bixie over there. And they carried on trying to make a fuss of Bumble, so he was then getting very stressed out, ramped himself out, and eventually the lads listened to me. I mean, I didn't want to be rude because they were so nice, but I could have told him to back off because the dog was, you know, Bumble was in a pretty stressful place by then. So and then I went to go in the pub to get the keys and left the dogs with my sister on a lead, and I said to this people coming out who I knew, I said don't interact with the one on the orange lead, which was Bumble, you can say hello to Bixie. And they said, oh, okay. And what did they do while I was in the pub? They went up to Bumble and they were trying to make a fuss of him. They kept putting their hands in his face, speaking to him really loudly, everything that you can't do with a dog that's anxious of strangers. And he was kind of like getting more and more upset, my sister said, to the point where she thought he could have bitten, but I don't ever believe he would bite. He's just not got that in him. But like I said, you never know. So those people didn't listen to a word I said, and they went ahead and did all the wrong things. So that wasn't a good experience for Bumble. So when I try, I know, when I meet people, I try to let him get relaxed around them. And once he knows them, he absolutely adores them. And I'll give them treats to give to him to help him understand that the situation's a good one. As you can see, he loves life. Don't you, darling? So come on in, off we go. So that's prompted me to make this video today, really, because it's just a worry for people, isn't it, with anxiety in their dogs, because you take them out, you want to go to a cafe or you want to go somewhere, but you don't end up taking them anywhere because you know that they might kick off because people are going to want to interact with them. Now, I totally get that, but without actually stimulating your dog to environments, they're never ever going to improve, are they? So there's a real catch-22, isn't it? So here's what I think I would do, and here's some plans I've got for Bumble as well, and I hope it helps you. So knowing how intelligent Bumble is and how I know how trainable he is as well, that's one thing I'm working on. So it's very difficult for me when I'm doing pickups with my car because he just gets so excitedly overwhelmed, and it's not an aggressive it can be when certain dogs come in, like Congo or Cane Corso that I work with. He can be a little bit, he sounds aggressive, but he'd never do anything. I know he wouldn't, but it just sounds horrible and it's not nice. So that's an interesting one. So what I've done to try and counteract that, and I've just done a bit of research on it, and I'm going to order, or have ordered, some U-Move calming sort of chews, and see if that gives him some help. They're supposed to reduce stress and anxiety in the dog, so I'm going to give that a try. He'll take 2 a day, and it takes up to 6 weeks to start kicking into their system, and I'll just see if that brings a little bit of peace and calm to him as well. If that doesn't work, Oh, I forgot to mention that he's going to be the ring bearer at my son's wedding in a year's time. So I've got a year to get this sorted out, because if he's walking up the aisle barking at everybody, it's not going to be a good look. So we're going to get there, and hopefully you'll see it on video as well. So the other thing I'm probably going to order as well is a thunder jacket, or a thunder t-shirt, whatever you want to call it. And what they are, they're a stretchy material which wraps around the dog's body, and it's almost like giving them a permanent hug. So it's supposed to reduce anxiety and stress in a dog, and I know they work. I've seen it work on an Italian greyhound, and it totally calms him from being barking at every situation to just being absolutely relaxed. Now, they can't live in those, they can't wear them all the time, but they can be worn in stressful situations. So for example, last night when I went outside the pub, if he'd had one of those on, it might have relaxed him down to the point where he wouldn't have been overwhelmed by these people staring and trying to touch him. So that's two options. The other option is the training part of it, which is what I've said. So trying to get him used to strangers and interacting with strangers, because he's out with me all the time, as you see in my videos. He's a really lovely dog to take out. He's perfect to go camping with. He's perfect to go walking with. It's just when he interacts with people, he just doesn't want to know. So so the training part of it, I carry treats around on me. I've got a training pouch here, and I carry small treats. And if I meet somebody, I'll say to them, can you give him, if he's reacting to them, I'll say, can you maybe just drop a treat on the floor in front of you, so he can then come over and realise that you're not a threat or a worry. And that starts to gradually teach him that things are okay. It's a very slow process. Some dogs carry this innate anxiety. It's a very modern word, anxiety. I know it's been used a lot in the past, but it's a very buzzword at the moment, isn't it, anxiety? But anxiety and fear in a dog is just quite a sad thing to see. And it's, he loves his life all the time, except for those little pinpoints of time where it just triggers him. So there's a couple of ideas that I'm going to use on Bumble. We'll see how it goes. I'll try and vlog it to let you see how he gets on with it, and we'll go from there. And if you've got a dog with anxiety issues or stress or fear, then just be aware of that. So use the tools out there to help you. So you can use like the thunder shirts, thunder jackets. You can use the right leads, so they're not on a really long lead where they could lunge at someone, so they're under control. You could use a figure of 8 halty, which keeps them a bit more relaxed and stress-free if you're on a lead walk. And also I teach really good recall to my dogs, and the ones I work with as well, because if you can call a dog away from a situation, it gets them back to you where they feel more relaxed. And leadership's a real key thing. I think I'll talk about leadership in another video, but how we lead our dogs is really important. And Bumble responds really well to positive training. He doesn't respond well to any kind of harsh training or voices that aren't, a bit aggressive or something like that. He doesn't really like that. So positive training really works for him, but also a good firm leadership as well, in a really loving leadership way, absolutely helps dogs. They know where they stand with you. They don't have to control the situation. They don't have to be fearful in the situation because they're trying to worry about you as well. We'll talk about that another time. Boy, good boy. Bumble, lay down. Yes, lay down. Down. Good boy. That was just a bow. That wasn't a bow. That wasn't a down. Cheeky. But you can see how happy. And oh God, I adore this dog so much. I really do. And we're totally bonded. We absolutely love each other, and just want the best for your dogs, don't you? So that's my ongoing mission, is to try and let him conquer his fears and anxieties. He'll probably always carry it a little bit because, like I said at the beginning of this video, every dog's got its own personality. They're not just a generic, oh, that's a Spaniel, it's got to behave this way. Of course they've got that in them, they're bred for that, but at the same time it's They've still got their own personalities. They've still got their likes, dislikes, who they really want to be around with, and their quirkiness as well. So I think that's why we're so bonded to them. That's why we love them so much. Love you, don't I, Bumble? Huh? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Come on in. Let's go. Let's go. And Bumble will pretty much stay with me. With the other two, look, they're off gallivanting. But Bumble stays with me. He has a little run around. He loves playing ball, loves playing fetch, and he loves to carry something. Another thing with dogs as well is keeping them working. With Bumble, being working dogs, being gun dogs, he loves to just hold something in his mouth, whether it be a stick or a stone. Generally, he holds a stone because the other dogs don't try and take it off of him because he's such a softie. If he had a tennis ball in his mouth, one of the others would just come and take it away from him. So he'll hold a stone and just hold it in his mouth around the whole walk sometimes. He hasn't got one now. And that just brings him just a real purpose. He walks around really proud and upright and very proud of himself that he's working for me. So yeah, you just got to embrace all these things with our dogs. Look at that for a day, isn't it beautiful? So I really hope that's helped. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe, always helps the channel grow, and it's lovely if it reaches more people. And when I do these walks, I'm going to try and share some information as well, so to make them actually worthwhile to be watched, so we can all learn something from it, because everything's a learning curve for all of us, isn't it? And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.